うしたの？
こんばんは。お待たせしました。お、一人入ってくださってます。さっきLINE の方に時間書くの忘れちゃいましたけど、多分大丈夫ですね。皆さん9時半に来てください。見てるかな？今日はですね、まあ、ね、ハロウィンウィークの方が多いんじゃないかなと思うんですけど、マシューの生コスチュームをちょっとメガネはそのままでいく？
もちろん。I can't see anything.
マシュー。怖っ。この顔。
Happy Halloween.
これで、チャット入れない人が今見てるから、すっごいね。誰って話。
Awful.
しかもさ、髭剃ってないじゃん。
Well, I'm sorry. I had a hard day.
ひどい。
Yeah, look, I shaved yesterday, okay? This is the result of hard work, not enough sleep,
そうだよね。
and protein shakes.
山田先生、みきこ先生、ハッピーハロウィン。
Miko sensei, happy Halloween.
どう？
I'm wearing the full, if you can see, it's like, it goes right down. This is this.
Dress.
Yeah. And
Turn around.
I can turn around if you like. Can you see?
ちゃんと見えてる。
見えてる？
見えてる。
I'm Ariel.
これさ、相手の、見てる方の反応がわかんないからさ、どんな顔して見てんだろうって思うけど。お疲れ様です。大変だよね、ハロウィンウィークね。この歌。
But well.
爆笑でしょ。だよね。
So I've just come back from my high school class. I had my high school classes today.
女の子でしょ？
One boy and one girl. And
こんな顔で
yeah.
普通に授業したでしょ？
Yeah. So I got there like as usual, like 10 minutes before them. And so I was doing some work at the table. And then the boy walks in just like, and I went, hi.
なんかさ、罰ゲームみたいだよね。
So.
あ、はいって感じだった？
Yeah, and then I said, I'm sorry, Matthew's not here today.
Who are you then?
So I'm your substitute teacher for today. Nice to meet you. My name's Ariel.
って言ったの？
Yeah.
そしたら
He said, nice to meet you. そうなんです。And then there was one girl in my preschool class, and she came this morning. She was also dressed as Ariel.
Sorry, yes.
And she entered the room, and she took one look at me, and gave me such a glare. Like, how dare you? She was, yeah, because she looked beautiful, obviously, but she was not happy to be wearing the same costume as me and not looking nearly as good as she did. But there you go. It's that time of year, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Please use the chat box wherever you can. Halloween. It's a week. Well, it's Thursday, so tomorrow's the last day.
そうだね。
Yeah, you're right. It looks terrible. I should shave. I'll shave tonight. But like I said, I shaved yesterday.
You don't shave every day?
Usually I don't, but I shaved yesterday because I'm aware that, you know, this looks terrible with right?
これ普通に歩いてたらなんか。
Well, you'd be surprised. Okay. Okay. So we live about 4 minutes by bicycle from my school where I work. And I came home this afternoon to pick up something. And I went back, but I didn't have time to get changed. So I was wearing this on my bicycle. Okay. Now, at the same time that the preschool finishes and then the afternoon classes start, the Komazawa Junior High School empties. All the kids come out.
Right.
And so it's a long street. You know that street from our house to the school, and you go past the junior high. Well, there must have been, I must have passed about 20 kids from the junior high. And I thought, I'm going to get it. They're going to like, woohoo, or like yell something or say. Nobody said anything.
もう怖かったんだよ。
I'm like, oh, that's so Japan. Because in Australia, everybody be like.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But maybe just stay away. Say nothing.
I did have a guy pass me on the bicycle saying, keep left, please. Yeah. I was on the right-hand side of the road, pulling in because we live on the right-hand side of the road, right?
Right.
So I was on the right, coming into our driveway, and there was a bicycle approaching. And so he just thought I was riding on the wrong. But I was dressed like this, and he goes, keep right.
普通にね。なんか、何もツッコミがないとないんで、ちょっと恥ずかしいよね。なんか、ハロウィンとか言って一言言ってくれた方が嫌。
それも嫌だ。I'm glad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Well, it's better than last year.
Yeah.
Okay, last year was a disaster. Woody, yeah, right. Didn't look like Woody at all.
Yeah, it looks like a scarecrow.
Well, I look like a scarecrow now.
Yeah.
Probably every year I just end up looking like a scarecrow.
But don't say that. Maybe next year will be. Really...
Next year will be fun. I'm going to plan it a bit
nicer.
I'll plan it a bit better and a bit more in advance, I think.
And then, ほら、Kaoru先生みたいにさ、
Yeah.
You fix the costume.
Yes, and that's your costume
Yeah.
every year. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Instead of this changing. Yeah. But of course, the kids had great fun. The kids had fun, and they couldn't stop laughing, of course.
高校生ってさ、
Yeah.
高校生は、今日どんなレッスンをした？
They asked why Ariel.
ああ、いいコミュニケーションだね。
They said, why Ariel? And I told them the truth.
Yeah.
I said, well, this is my 15th Halloween party. And every year it's the same. What are we going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And so I spoke to my team teacher partner, and she loves cosplay.
Yeah.
And so I said to her, hey, do you have anything like for me? And she just took one look at me and she goes, Ariel. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. And so I told her, here are me.
Right.
I said, I've got my costume sorted out.
Right.
My team teacher is helping me out. I'm going to be Ariel. And Hirami said, Ariel.
だって最初アリエルって言ったら、こう、貝殻のこうビキニに、魚のね。
Right. And I didn't think of that because that's what Hirami said. But you know what Ariel looks like? She's got like shoulderless,
yeah.
You know, bare shoulders, kind of boob hugging top.
って思わない？だって、
yeah.
これアリエルって言われたらアリエルだけど、ベル、まあね、髪の毛が赤だからさ。
Excuse me.
もうやだ。夢に出そう。怖い。
夢に出そう。本当。
もういいよ、ちょっと。
And so I panicked because she's right. And so she showed me the photo. I'm like, no, maybe my teaching partner has got it all planned. Yeah. She's going to get me dressed in this
Yeah.
So I checked with her and she said, no, it's
Dress.
It's a dress.
よかった。
Your shoulders are covered. And
だってね、アリエル言ってたらほら、赤い髪の毛に
そう
さ、こう、貝殻っぽい、こう、ビキニみたいなの
そう
に、こう、ね、足かなって思っちゃったけど。まあまあ。
yeah, so that was why it became Ariel. But it could have been anything.
うん、
I didn't really mind. I was just thankful that
Yeah.
there was an idea.
うんうん。
Yeah, no, the kids really liked it.
子供たちね、プリスクールの子供たちのコスチューム可愛かったね。すごい可愛かったね。
We had the usual princesses.
Right?
Elsa was popular again this year, not as popular as in previous years.
うん。
We had a couple of Elsas. We had a policeman. We had a Peter Pan.
Yeah. あと、
Pirates.
鬼滅の刃ね。
What's that one?
あの、禰豆子がいた。
Right, is that the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Japanese.
Japanese, yeah.
うん。
We had that.
そうそうそう。流行ってますよね。鬼滅の刃。
But I haven't seen it, but I heard it's really violent. Is it
Yeah.
right?
スプラッター。結構首が飛んだりとかさ、結構過激映画とか PG-12 とかだから、な割には結構小さい子がよく見てる感じするからさ、何を、あんなの見てんのかなと思って。で、今、キャラクターもいっぱい出てるしね。なんか、お菓子とかさ、
Yes.
カレーとか。
Yeah.
そう、でも、ね、ちょっと怖いかな。あんまり、うん、首を跳ねたりとか。
Is it animation or is it
Yeah,
a...
it's animation.
Okay.
うん。
Yeah.
そう。鬼退治みたいなね。そうそう。
Yeah, so I think, my views on Halloween is take it or leave it.
うんうん。
So what I thought we'd do is, especially if the chat box is on and everybody's okay,
うん。
is to start a discussion on Halloween and English education. And we'll look at the good points and the positives and the negatives.
うんうん。
Right? And I've got a whiteboard here. We can just make some notes. And yes,
あ、千春先生。
Chiharu sensei. Good
も
evening.
う千春先生がどんな顔して見てるか、千春先生の顔が見たいね。すごくないですか、これ。
All right. Halloween in the classroom.
笑ってる。
Can you see that? This is not
Yeah.
a very good
見
pen.
る見る。
Halloween and English education in Japan.
うんうん。
Let's look at the positives and the negatives.
うんうんうん。
Now, me being me,
うんうん。
okay, it's easy to focus here. There's a few reasons to focus here. For a start, it's closer to me, so it's easier to write.
こっちを書きたいからでしょ。
Well, it's just closer.
Yeah, okay.
But let's start with a positive, okay? And it's very clear.
Yeah.
There's a big positive.
Mm.
The big positive of Halloween and English education in Japan, okay? The weather.
Weather?
Right? The weather at this time of year is just wonderful.
ああ、そういうこと？
It's not too hot, not too cold.
あ、千夏。千夏先生。
I love this time of year. The weather's great.
Yeah.
Not too hot, not too cold. Any other pluses? Maybe no.
そうね、やめようよ、ちゃんと。
はい、わかった。If you've just joined us, good evening, Chinas Sensei. We are talking about the role of Halloween in English education in Japan, and whether we think has some positives or has some negatives. So by all means, share your ideas. I think this is positive and write it in. Japanese is fine, of course. Okay, I'll seriously go for a positive. Now, this is controversial, however. Okay, well, just a very
So
simple
that
one.
doesn't matter.
Let's go simple, okay? The kids can dress up.
Fun.
Well, see, I'm not always sure it's fun.
Mm.
Kids can dress up. Now, that is fun. That's I think that's a positive in English education.
Right.
Or any education. That the kids can for
change,
a day, be somebody else.
Right. Maybe you can change your character.
You can change your character,
attitude.
change your attitude. You can even become your dream.
Right.
If your dream is to be a soccer player, you dress up as a soccer player.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. And and people go to great lengths to make some pretty cool costumes.
Right.
They're expensive though if you buy them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a good thing
for
kids to dress up. In fact, I would like to have a day where kids can dress up anyway, without necessarily having a Halloween.
あとパーティーとかやったりするのね。
Parties. Well, we had a pajama party last year where everyone just came in their pajamas.
No, we're talking about Halloween.
Okay.
Usually, they're just doing a party or trick-or-treating or,
Parties.
パーティーとか、あとほら、発表会を一緒にやったりするよね。パーティーと発表会。ハロウィン発表会ね。
Right. Now we must make a distinction between the positives for kids and the positives for teachers, because parties is taihen for teachers. But let's put teachers to one side.
まあちょっとtrick-or-treating ね。先生たちいつもお菓子用意してるじゃん。キッズはしてないかもしれないけど。
Oh, we do?
Right?
Is that a positive? That's a negative, isn't it?
The kids can, get lots of snacks.
Okay, that's good for the kids.
Yeah.
Even though we don't think so.
Right.
The kids think it's a good thing. All right, so kids get candy.
They love to get ones, right?
Yeah. Kids get candy.
Mm-hmm.
Any other ideas? Actually, I will erase the weather because that's very me, isn't it? It's got nothing to do with the kids.
本当だよ。書くことないから的な書いてる。
Yeah, tissue's fine.
I'm really thirsty.
Could you pass my coffee, please? Thank you. Not on the iPad. It's
Sorry,
okay. It's okay.
I
It's
can't
okay.
reach it.
No worries. Hey, we'll erase the weather because that's a personal thing. It's got nothing to do with the kids. Kids can dress up. There are parties. Chinatsu Sensei is saying the kids can learn about different cultures.
Right.
Or a different, she didn't say cultures, she said different culture. So I think she's referring to the Halloween culture. Specifically, learn about a culture.
Right.
Yeah?
True.
The kids can learn. A culture.
なんとなく英語圏の文化に触れた気になれる。そうね。で、experience English speaking culture。まあ同じような感じかな。なんとなくね、そういう感じしますよね。
Well, we've got 4 positives and no negatives at this point.
今、ポジティブって言ってるからじゃん。そうね。あと何かありますかね。こんばんは。和也先生かな。
Good evening.
もうね、向こう側にどういう顔して見てるか見たい。
Oh, from Chinatsu, another one. Students can guess what different characters other friends are wearing. More non-target English chances.
Right.
Okay, recognition of each other's kids can what's the wording? Guess what different. Give recognition to friends.
Right.
Mind you, It depends on how it's handled. Now, I've been in parties where at the start of the party, all the kids sit in a big circle with sensei like at one end of the circle saying, okay, come on, stand up, Chinatsu, or whatever, saying, and like Chinatsu's wearing a Minnie Mouse costume. And then the teacher has all the kids say, good morning, Chinatsu, what's your costume? And then Chinatsu has to say, I'm Minnie Mouse.
なんかそれちょっと、
なんかね、silly.
いえ。
Because 見てもわかるじゃん。聞く必要ない。So, it just depends.
なんかさ、
It's too controlled sometimes. And then, it's not real communication. So, I think if it was done in a more communicative way, but it's hard. I think maybe simply just to give recognition, Wow, and doesn't she look great? If Sensei could say, hey, look, everybody, look at Chinatsu. Can you tell me what she's wearing? Minnie Mouse. Okay, that's nice, isn't it? She looks great. Something like that. Rather than having the kids ask, what's your costume? Yeah. What's your costume? I'm like, Ariel.
Sorry.
Yeah. And the other thing is sometimes the kids are not really sure what they're wearing.
そうそう、たまにさ、お母さんとかがさ、もうとりあえずなんかもうあんまりお金かけないでとか言って、なんか熊なのか、犬なのか、ちょっと微妙にわからない。
ある。And so, その時は genuinely, what's your costume?
でもさ、
And then if they say, well, I'm a bear. Oh, of course you're a bear. Yeah, you look great. But then they go, I don't know. And you're like,
ごめんねって。
Sorry. To me. ある。
あるね。ちっちゃいことね。
Yeah.
でもなんかドア入ってくるときにさ、ノックノックとか言ってさ、なんか、Who are you? とか言って、自分がI'm Woody とか言って入ってくるんだったらいいじゃん。自分がそのキャラクターになって家を訪ねるとかさ、自分で言うって意味だよ。でみんなの前で言うのはさ、あれだけど、みんなのところに出てくるドアの後ろでね、一人ずつとか、one by one とかだったら、まああり得るんじゃない？いや。It's good. Anyway, I just joined. What?
Yeah. I thought I'd share with you what I wear privately.
もうね、みのり先生の顔が見たい。
I didn't have a chance to get ready for our usual YouTube, so I just came just casual.
こっちが本物。
そう。もう、みのり先生助けてよ。
ギリギリまでレッスンだったからね、今日もね。まあいいっしょ。
Do you like it? So it was a good chance for me to say to the kids, I'm beautiful. And they all went, no. Am I beautiful? No. And so I've got, Wato, my junior high.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a junior high kid, okay? Bless him. He's a great guy. He's been with me for years and years and years. We have amazing rapport, amazing relationship. He couldn't stop laughing when he came in.
Right.
And so I said to him, I think you like me. And he went, no. I'm like, oh. It's teasing him so bad. Yeah.
関係ないけどさ、ちゃんと髭剃ってさ、なんかほら、全然関係ないけど、アプリで男の顔を女にするアプリとかって知りません？あるじゃない？こう自分の顔を撮って、それをこう、マスキュリンにしたり、フェミニンにしたりっていうアプリがあって、で、マシューのを撮ったらすっごい綺麗な女性だったんだよね。だから、綺麗にしたらいけんじゃない？なんか
Well, can I say my manager was looking at me rather differently?
どういう意味？
Okay.
怖いんだけど。
Yeah. He was looking
Yeah.
at me a little bit.
え、何 What? What? Oh my god.
Yeah, he said, oh, いけるじゃん。
やだ。
And can you believe some of the boys were trying to look up my skirt?
What does it mean?
They were trying to look up my skirt. So at lunchtime, okay, because the kids sit at tables for lunch, and we don't eat lunch with. We have to sit on a chair.
Right.
Okay. Now, as usual, I'm sitting kind of just like as I sit,
Yeah.
with my legs open, and my manager says, "Hey, you close your legs."
そうだよ。一応女なんだ。
So. And so the kids are like, ah, and they were like trying to look under my skirt.
足広げたからでしょ。
So.
もうね、この反応、顔が見れないのが残念だね。ズームじゃないからね。
Well, we've got quite a few positives about Halloween and English education.
普通に話してるけど、やっぱおかしいよね。まあいいや。はい、普通にえっていうのが可愛いゆり先生。はい。そう。まあ、ポジティブなこともある。
Kids can give recognition to their
Yeah,
friends. Non-target English experiences or chances. Well, I mean, in any bumming that's out of the ordinary, there are chances to be had.
Right.
So kids were like saying things like, "No, you're not beautiful."
I like your costume.
I like your costume. Yeah.
Can I try とか。
Yeah. Any other positives?
あ、まあ、パーリーがあったけど、あれも発表会もあるよね。
Okay. Should we just?
発表会も足しといていいんじゃない？
Yeah, me?
Yeah.
Am I going to write that?
Yes. 発表会やるとこありますもんね。
I'm just going to write that in English. I'll write Kai in Japanese.
Yeah.
ちょっと待って。わかったよ。
違うよ。
合ってる。
また作んないで感情。
ちょ。
日本、ワン、
そう。はい、
はい
OK。発表会。
この、ハロウィンの発表会で、いろんなお友達連れてきてもらってね。春からの、募集にしたりするとこもあるからね。まあでも、エデュケーションだからね。
Yeah. Now, what about this one? Because this one's going to be controversial. The kids get a chance to overcome fear.
それもあるね。
Now, the whole essence of Halloween is that it's scary.
Right.
It's scary.
そうね、スプーキー。
Spooky and scary. Witches, monsters,
Yeah.
skeletons,
Yeah.
vampires,
Yeah. Which is
bats. So, what on earth does that have to do with education? Now, I see there could be a role in it, so I'm just being on the fence here.
Right.
Why would you see scary things playing a role in education?
怖いと思うから怖いのかもしれないって、怖くないと思ったら怖くないかもしれないみたいな。
I don't think it's the first time that scary things play a role in education. For example, we give our kids an education on what to do in case there's an earthquake.
怖いっていうことに関してとハンドリングするからね。
そう。
でもそこまで考えてハロウィンやらないけどね。まあ。
You know, earthquakes are scary. Fire is scary.
Right.
I do like this. It's good things because, I mean, in real life, you get scared all the time. If something scary happens, it's scary.
Right.
The difference between real life situations where it's something scary is happening versus Halloween is that this one's more controlled.
Yeah.
So you can control the fear factor. You can control the amount of fear that
Right.
the kids experience.
Right, right.
So in that way, it's good. And then it gives the kids a chance to challenge themselves
Right.
to overcome it.
そうね。
So in that respect, I think it's okay. On the other hand, it can get too much.
あ、思い出したけど。
はい。
あとほら、アーツ&クラフトやるとこ多いよね。
そうだね。
だから結構、
Yeah, but you don't need Hello Kids for that. I mean, so you don't need Halloween for that.
ね。でもほら、some school, carve pumpkins together とかさ、
大変らしいよ。
すごい大変らしいよね。でも、こう、普段やらないことをレッスンの中でできたりするじゃない？ね、いいんじゃない？
Can anybody add anything else?
こんなもんじゃないかな。ポジティブなことね。
They see their teachers in a different way.
うん。
Because, right, teachers dress up too.
うん。もうそれが楽しみな先生もいるからね。
Yeah,
子供たちもそれ見たいしね。
yeah.
うん。
And they go home and...
ホーンテッドハウスやってますって、やっぱり。
Yeah, so do we.
うん。
But in our case, it's very scary.
Right. Extremely. I hate that.
So it's too much.
Too much. I don't want to go. 私すっごい嫌いなんだよね。
Hi.
本気で嫌いだからね。
Hi, are we starting here?
Yes.
Hi. We've done our best to produce quite a lot of positives.
Negative.
はい、どうぞ。
やっぱりハロウィンは一部の国のカルチャーだから、
Right.
なんていうのかな。
It has an unfair monopoly on culture exposure.
うん。なんて言おうとしたんだっけな。
There are a lot of other...
Stereotype.
It's very stereotypical. I'm going to get a new pen. There's one over there. Hang on, hold this.
やっぱその、English speaking country のイメージあるけど、
そう。
一部だからね。
だってさ、even in Canada, they don't have Halloween as much as the United States.
まあ、でも。
らしいよ。
あ、そう？
It's not as big a deal in Canada.
オーストラリアも。
あんまり。
ね。あれもそうよ。イギリスもそうよ。そんなに。
Right. Assumptions are made.
アメリカだもんね。
That all can't see that, can you?
大丈夫、大丈夫。And you really actually discuss the concept in depth. It's just the commercialized idea. そうそうそう。やっぱさ、このハロウィンの、この間もね、ちょっと、アップリフトのリピート、先生たちと話してたけど、この文化自体ってどっちかっていうと、こう、日本には東京ディズニーランドが持ってきたイメージありません？
All English speaking countries celebrate.
だと思われちゃうのあるね。
Yeah.
外国はハロウィンやってるみたいな、もっと言うと。
Yeah.
ね。そうそうそうそう。
Yeah, it's not right.
うん。
It's an American thing.
Yeah. まあ、なんていうのかな。もう一部のイベントになっちゃって、ちょっと変わってきてはいるけどね。
Right.
もともとはやっぱそうだね。
Right.
はい。他には。
Yes, it's not discussed in depth.
うん。
No deep discussion.
うん。もうどっちかって having fun.
Maybe that's a good thing though, Minori Sensei. There's no deep discussion on it.
だからあんま深くやれないしね。
Well, in saying that, Christmas too.
そう。
Now,
あれもだって本当は宗教だから、ね。
yeah.
ちょっと後で話そうと思ってたけど。
Right.
うん。
I wonder if people would be so enthusiastic if they did enter a deep discussion on it. Because it does, maybe not so in Japan, where overall religion does not play a huge part in society.
日本は、宗教的なものっていうよりも、一つのイベント的な、それこそさ、バレンタインデーみたいな、なんかそういうちょっとしたイベントとして捉えてるから、深く考えないよね。多分。だって、それこそ、いつだったか電車の中に乗ってる時に、ジャックランタン見て、見てハロウィンあれみたいな。あれはジャックランタンだって、みたいな。かぼちゃを見て、ハロウィンって言ったり、ハロウィンってさ、あれでしょコスプレする日でしょみたいな。
そうそうそう。
いや違うし、
それしか持ってないよね。
そうそうそう。それしかないみたいなよね。
Minori Sensei adds here, I think at least the teachers need to know what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should.
そうそう。
And then make the decision whether they want to go ahead with it or not.
Right. あとは
And saying that and going back to this one, the assumptions are made that all English-speaking countries celebrate it and that all English-speaking people celebrate it. Now, I worked with an American friend of mine who hated Halloween because she was a quite devout Christian.
Okay.
So
what's
it
devout?
Means very strongly believed.
Okay.
So depending on
the religion,
I mean, America is not officially, but has a large Christian society. Basically, its society is based on Christian values. But in saying that, there are some. That's right, and some Christians who are really against it because they see it as calling up the devil or whatever. So I feel a bit sorry for her because she was, first of all, employed by a school that had Halloween, and so she was forced to be involved. I felt really sorry for her because it was going totally against what she believed in. So she worked really hard to overcome that. So, but that's one reason I felt sorry for her. And the other reason I felt sorry for her is because if she ever said, I don't like Halloween, maybe because of the education that Japanese people get about Halloween, they'd be like, やらないのとかさ、You're from America とかさ。
また言われるのめんどくさいしね。
そう
なるかもしれない。
Right.
そうね。それあるよね。
ある。So it's offensive to some people.
そう。だからね、私、小学校でさ、ハロウィンやるのとかってすごい嫌だったんだよね。ハロウィンとかクリスマスとか。
Well, this was it. Do you remember when we worked in Arakawa? You weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas. They wanted a month of like Christmas themed lessons, but you weren't allowed to say the word Christmas. おかしくない？
そうだったっけ？あれ、だったっけ？
Maybe not in your curriculum.
No.
Maybe it was before they changed it into a subject. In the 3 years that I was working beforehand in the school's curriculum or whatever.
クリスマス歌はやったけど、Merry Christmas でしょ？ Merry Christmas は歌でしか
いけなかったって。
挨拶としてね。
Yeah, Happy Holidays は OK だったかな。Happy Holidays だったかな。
まあ、厳しいとこあるのね。
Yeah, you couldn't say the word Christmas.
なのにハロウィンやるんだね。
ハロウィンやる。
まあいいや。
ちょっとね、中途半端だね。
ね。でも一応ほら、学校の中で宗教的なものを扱っちゃいけないって言ってる割にはぐっちゃぐちゃだけどね。
ぐちゃぐちゃよ。
ね。まあほら、メリークリスマスもハッピーバースデーも同じような扱いでしょ。どっちかっていうと。
そうだね。
ね。
But again, for religious purposes, some people don't celebrate birthdays.
Right. そう。
So,
難しいね。
難しいね。でも確かにあんまり深く考えてない。それはいけないかもね。
知っといた方がいいよね。どこまで深く理解させるかとかいうよりも、そういう側面があるって分かっててやるのと知らないでやるのはやっぱ違うかもしれないね。確かに。これ結構ないじゃん。他には。ネガティブ。普通のレッスンができないっていうのはあるね。
そう。それもそう。はい。書いて。
いいね。はい。
確かに regular lessons
だってほ
are
ら、
on hold.
ハロウィンウィークになっちゃうじゃん。
Yeah, weak なっちゃうよ。The other thing I don't like about Halloween is there's nothing really to say. It's very vocabulary based.
うん。
Students get distracted by it.
costume in the lesson. それあるね。
Yeah.
レッスンならないもん。
Vocabulary based.
そうね。単語ベースになっちゃうね。
単語ベース. So what can you do for like a week?
Ghost, bat.
Goes back.
Wait.
Yes, yeah. It's just very vocabulary based. I mean, I've come up with some ideas, and
まあまあ、でも、
you can hear about them in the 養成講座.
まあ、いいんじゃないこのぐらい。あと、
But sometimes it's too scary,
うん、
and it puts.
息子が学校の英語モジュールでハロウィンの単語を時間いっぱい忘れたんだけど、これいつ使うとなんか言ってました。使わないよ、ね。
使わないよ。
すごいど
そうなんですよ。使わない単語、英語、1週間やるの。
1週間やるのよ。15年やったのよ。
そうだよ。ちょっともったいない。Good evening, you look great.
ともみ先生。
Thank you very much.
優しい。うんうん。
Right?
そうそうそう。
Who am I speaking to here? Minori sensei, Yuri sensei.
あ、マジ先生。かおり先生来た。かおり先生。かおり先生はかわいいウィッチね。ポポウィッチ。
How do I look? Wow. So I got a wow, I got a you look great, I got and what?
爆笑みたいな。
And then she. 確かに。
もうこっちから先生方の顔が見えないのがとっても残念。
We are talking about the positives and the negatives of Halloween inside English education in Japan. We're looking at, let's look at the positives. Let's go back. The kids can learn our culture. Kids can dress up. There are parties, hapyokai. Kids get candies. Kids can give recognition to friends regarding their costumes. A chance for kids to overcome fear, because fear is the essence of Halloween. Lots of arts and crafts, and also their teachers can get dressed up. So we're going from the kids' point of view. From the teacher's point of view, a party is taihen. Hapyokai no shoto taihen. Getting dressed up is taihen. But from the
kids,
so. From the teacher's point of view, there's a couple of negatives in here. Maybe you don't want to give kids candies. But if you don't give candies, they won't come to your party. Hi. Yeah, the negatives. Yes, assumptions are made that all English-speaking countries celebrate Halloween, which is not correct. Which is a difficult thing as an Australian. I'm used to it now, if it's 15 years. But when I first did, I had no idea. What do you do? What do you wear? Why are we doing this? I'd heard about Halloween from America, but there was nothing. I thought it was for kids. And apparently it used to be just for kids. It's only recently that even America saw.
アメリカもそうだよね。昔は子供だけだったけど。
There's no deep discussion about this event. Regular lessons are on hold. The students get distracted, particularly by costumes.
ちょっと思い出した。
And it's very vocab based. The English that we cover in the Halloween week is not anything that we can use.
なんかさ、そういえば、No Deep Discussion ってあったじゃない、どっかの小学校で、その総合の時間でやるからって言って、で、ハロウィンっていうのはどういうことなんだろうって調べる学習と合わせて、日本のお盆とこう比べるみたいなことしてたよね。こう死んだ人が帰ってくる、ほら、アンセストとか、そのね、が帰ってくるんじゃなくて、ほら、ハロウィンはもう死んだ人たちが一日だけ帰ってくれるみたいな感じ。そうそう。だからその死んだ人が帰ってくる日みたいな感じで、なんかお盆の話もしてたけどね。
まあいいんじゃない？
でも、for me, so
what?
まあいいけどさ。
Well, see, there you go. I mean, there are a lot of
Yeah,
questions
that's
that
the
we need to ask
answer.
ourselves. I mean, how relevant are these kind of celebrations?
うん。
They're rather paganistic, aren't they? Rather old-fashioned.
うん。
Do they have a role in modern society? How seriously would our society be affected if we decided not to do Halloween anymore?
まあでもほとんどの先生やってるよね。だから好きな先生多いよね。
Oh, yes, I'm not saying, yeah.
クリスマスやのハロウィンが好き。まあそれは personal preference があるんじゃないですか。別に。
We're still waiting for some more positives.
うん。
Oh, no, these are negatives.
Yeah.
By the way, yes, for those who have just joined us,
うん。
ハ
ロウィンの
いいところ
いいところ
とネガティブのところ。
そう、ハロウィンのいいところ、ポジティブとネガティブをね、今ちょっと出してみましょうってことをしてるんですけど。
By all means, include your ideas.
うん。
Yeah, it gets too scary.
怖すぎる。
In,
あなたのスクールのホーンテッドハウスはちょっと怖すぎるよね。大人でも怖いよね。
can get too scary.
うんうん、あとお金がかかる。
Not the kids.
まあね。まあ、エデュケーションだからお金関係ないか。
Yeah, we're looking from the kids' perspective.
うんうん、
親めんどくさい。
そう
The parents sometimes don't like thinking about costumes. Now, sometimes they do. でね、in my school, our preschool, up to last year, we had a Christmas party in every day for a week.
Yeah.
And the mums could come and visit for like 2 or 3 of those days.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids got dressed up every day.
Mm-hmm.
But then a problem started happening. Do you know what the problem was? The kids would want a different costume every day.
Right. なるほどね。
And they would argue with their parents. And the parents were like, or just one. But they would have these discussions at home. And so the parents, some parents would just say no and upset their kids.
Right.
Other parents would say, okay, and prepare 5 different costumes. And some of the costumes were like really amazing. We had this guy who came dressed like he was riding a camel. You're right. So he stepped into this suit, and on the front here was like this camel's body and his head, and then the rest of the body came out here. So it looked like he was riding a camel. So, and every day was something like that. It was like, oh, look what he's wearing today. Look at that, you know. And so a lot of the mums started feeling a bit inadequate because they were only sending their kids 1 costume a week.
Yeah,
and the kids were like complaining. Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially the girls. They wanted to be Elsa today, Belle the next day,
All right.
Minnie Mouse on this day. And so it got taihen. So this year, our manager said, that's it. Because he was getting some feedback and complaints from parents.
Yeah.
So he cut it down to 3 days. 3 days only. I said to him, no, why don't you just make it a rule? We tell the kids, no, you can only wear 1 costume. I thought if we set the rule, then it'll be helpful to mums. But then again, sometimes mums love it.
Yeah. お母さんも女の子とか可愛いの着せたくなっちゃうもんね。そう。結構やっぱり言うよね。男の子より女の子の方が着せられるものが多いから、着せたい。
Yeah. I feel a bit sorry for elementary school kid boys. Because they have to come to the party, but they can't be bothered wearing a costume, so they'll wear.
忍者とか多くない結構。
Yeah, they get to a certain age and then it's 超適当. It's just like whatever, like a cape.
とりあえず。
Just a cape.
Ghosty.
Yeah, or a black vampire, just a cape.
Right.
But it's like 100円とかさ。
Right.
You know? they pick something up from the 100 yen store on the way to the party.
全然でもいいんだよ。
もちろん、もちろん。全然いい。全然いい。But I feel a bit sorry for them because it's clear they're not interested.
なんかやるんだったらさ、中途半端じゃない方がいいよね。物が中途半端だけど、もうやりきっちゃう方が。
Yeah.
なんか、
Well, we were learning about like play groups, Halloween party up to last year before Corona struck. They had a party. I mean, a big event in a hall with, you know, music going and dancing and
カール先生とかもそうだよね。
あ
パーティーやってるじゃん。大きいの。ね。去年のビデオ見たじゃない？フーストーダクッキーズとか、なんか劇やったりとかね。
そうだそうだ。What is the what for behind the costume idea from the teacher's point of view?
fake it and make it みたいな。いい質問だね。
Well, it gives a chance for the kids to be somebody that they're usually not. And they can express that chance however they want. They can either go scary, they can go cute, they can go dream-wise. So I'm not against wearing costumes. So like I said, I would like to see them wear costumes throughout the year.
Right. なんかね、何かになってみるってなると、こう自分を一回外せるっていうかさ、ちょっと待ってね。
Yeah.
そうそう。なんかこう、何かになってみるとか、真似してみるとかさ、そういう、なんだっけ、あるじゃない？こう、成功哲学みたいにさ、fake it till you make it みたいな。それこそさっきこうサッカープレイヤーになりたいから、サッカープレイヤーの格好になるとか、プリンセスになりたいから、プリンセスの格好をすることで、プリンセスのこうこう、軸っていうかさ、こうね、オーラが出てきてさ。
Yeah. And yeah, especially the young girls, preschool girls.
歩き方も変わっちゃうね。
そう。
でも、それすごいいいことだと思うね。自分をこう変えて何か、自分のキャラクターを一回捨てて、なりたい人になっていくとか、真似をするっていうのは、すごくいいことだよね。憧れる人の真似をするっていうのはいいと思う。そう。それすごいいいと思う。なりたいものになるっていうさ。なりたいものに、よくほら、私も言われたんだけど、憧れてる人とか尊敬してる人の真似を徹底的にしなさいって言われたじゃない。それこそ、なんか食べるものも、起きる時間も、持ってるものも、少しずつ真似すると、その人になっていけるとか言って、ね、お財布何使ってるんですかとか、ね、聞く人とかっているじゃない？
Do you think kids ever wear Halloween costumes that they don't want to wear, but their parents made them? Yeah, I don't want to be this. You're wearing that, whether you like it or not. Now go.
あれはあるよね。ほら、親からすると、ちょっと大きめの買って、もう2年ぐらい着てほしいと思うじゃん。せっかく買うから。だけど子供は、それ去年着たからや、とか言って、もう今は着れるんだからいいよ、いいよ。っていうのはあるかもしれないよね。またみたいな。
Or kids don't want to wear the same costume that their brother and sister wore.
そうそうそう。だってうちもそうじゃない、どっちかっていうと。
そう。
去年着たのはもう着たくないみたいな。そうそう。
そうだね。でも、parents go, no, that's what you're wearing. Not that we do. No, we,
でも、なんか買いやすくなったよね、コスチューム。なんかとっても安くさ、今は。高いのは高いけど、結構カジュアルに買えるようになったし、100均とかでもね、こう、ウィッグとかさ。
Ouch.
Sorry, your hair.
Ouch. Don't pull my hair.
これちゃんと後ろリボンついてるんだよね。ほら。やだ。
Yeah, all right.
うちは教室の生徒さんの中で使い回したりしてますよ。あ、それいいですよね。使いますよね。
Well, we were talking about that for teachers.
うん。そうそう。
So,
イングリッシュアップリフトの受講生の中でそれぞれみんな
そう
こう、コスチュームを交換していこうってね。
そう。
でも生徒の中でもいいかもね。お互いに借りて切ったりね。そう。
well, anyway,
うん。
it is interesting. We did not look at the teacher's point of view. We just looked at.
あずこさん。子供プリンセスが着たい親、あなたはまだ早い。と言われてました。
あなたにはまだ早い。
じゃあお母さんが着たいのかな。
そっか。
着たいよね、プリンセスね。うん。あかね先生来た。あかね先生。
Good evening.
なんかうちなんかさ、あれだもんね、部屋着がドレスだもんね。リーシェとネリア。学校から帰ってきて、ただいまって言って、ハロウィンとかじゃないけど、ドレス着てるよね。
Yes, they wear like princess dresses that were bought for Halloween, maybe, or they
違う、Christmas のプレゼントかなんか。
from grandpa and grandma.
うん。
And they wear them throughout the year. I think that's a good thing.
もうなんかボロボロになるまで着るからね。
That's great.
あそこまで着てくれるんだったらね。
そう、not just on Halloween.
ハロウィンだけだったらもったいない。
もったいないよね。
もう、部屋着だもんね。家の中でシューズとかも履いてたからね。プリンセスシューズとか言って。
そう。That was good.
そう。で、お掃除もしてくれるし、シンデレラごっこして。最高。そう。
Look, I'm sure there are, if we think deeper,
Right.
there are a lot more we can think of. But yeah.
そう。ね、なんか、やっぱこういうセレブレーション的なイベントとかって、こう、深く知れば知るほど難しくなってくるじゃない？
そう。
結局人によってとか、宗教によってとか、そういうのになっちゃうので、私ね、これさ、ちょっと古いけどいいかな。もう今ね、これ買ったの何年だろうな。今新しいバージョンが。
絶対新しくなったと思うよ。
もう3版か何版が出てると思うんだけど、これ、ちょっと待って、チェック。97年ほら。
そろそろ。
これ私1997年に買った本なんです。出てすぐ買った、この Children Just Like Me っていうシリーズがあるんですよ。
ありますね。
これね、すごくおすすめで、ち
うん。
ょっと絵がすいませんね。もう古いんですけど、今新しい、latest version あると思うので、私、英語の先生やってる人はね、これ絶対マスト本だと思うんですよ。ちょっと探してみてください。あればいいかな。個人的に私 DK 出版大好きなんで、DK の本をたくさん持ってるんですけど、この Children Just Like Me っていうのは、だいたい小学生ぐらいの実際にいる子供たちを取材して、その子たちがどういうそのセレブレーション、セレブレーションしてるかっていうものを紹介してるんですよ。で、そうするとね、どこどこの国の何々ちゃんと何々くんはっていう説明ができるんですよ。
Right. It's not
そこの国ではっていう。
in that country, no. It's focused on.
そう、この子たちはっていう。
Right.
これね、ほら。
Halloween.
ちょっと、
はい。
こんな風にね。
Alex is 10 years old and lives in Canada. This year, his neighbor Megan has invited him to a party to celebrate Halloween. Halloween is an ancient festival that takes place on the last night of October, when it was once believed that witches and spirits returned to Earth. Children have great fun decorating their houses and dressing up in different disguises. As night falls, they go from door to door, frightening their neighbors and saying trick or treat.
みたいなね。
はい。
で、この子たちは、カナダのこの子たちはっていう紹介の仕方ができるから、これアメリカあったかな？これまた違うんだけど、こういう、これは Day of the Dead の死んだ人。
In Mexico.
そう、メキシコはこんな感
They
じ。
have, this is also every year on November the 1st. It's
Mhm.
interesting, the day after
そうそうそう。
American Halloween in
So-
Mexico, just south of the border. Day of the Dead.
うん。
You know, in some ways, I prefer a name like that
Right.
because it's more straight to the point,
うんうん。
easier to understand.
うんうん。っ
いいよね。
ていうふうにこう紹介できるから、国はとか言わなくても、全部じゃないんだよね、みたいな感じでいいと思うんだよね。
Thanksgiving.
そう。これは、サンクスギビングとか、これは USA の話であったけどね。
いいですね。
これからの季節で言うと、ウィンターになるとね、ディワーリとか。
Right. There's St. Nicholas.
そう、セントニコラスって知ってます？あるよ。
Hey, let's go here. Hanukkah, of course. St. Nicholas.
あ、関係ないけどさ、このハヌカってさ、ジューイッシュでしょ？
Yeah.
ニューヨークの時にはさ、ハヌカキャンドルがエルウェアで、
Right.
すごい、これ何ですかみたいな。したらなんかジューイッシュはクリスマスセレブレイトしないって言ったらそうなんだ。
Right.
これね。はい。
So my parents are from Holland.
Mm.
And growing up in Australia, we celebrated St. Nicholas every year. And it was a lot more fun than Christmas.
うんうん。
Because St. Nicholas was St. Nicholas is December the 5th.
Mm.
And the thing is, this guy called St. Nicholas, if you think about it, looks like Santa Claus and even has the same name.
Right.
Santa Claus, St. Nicholas,
Mhm,
right? Just the days were different. They kind of moved him up 3 weeks up to Christmas.
Right.
Originally, St. Nicholas Day
Right.
is December the 5th.
Yeah.
They just very conveniently borrowed his character and changed his name to Santa Claus to
Right.
put him on. But the original one is December 5th, St. Nicholas. And
So
he's a
Orlando-
kind of... Orlando dake janai tomo. Where's this guy from?
スロベキアかな。
Slovakia. Okay, so it's a European tradition.
Right.
But it's very big in Holland,
うん。
in the Netherlands.
うん。
And he's a nice old guy who gives toys to kids. It's
Mhm.
very much like the modern day
Mm.
Santa Claus. But I think the Dutch, or certainly in our house, our way of celebrating it was you don't just give people presents.
Mm.
There are presents already in a basket and nobody knows who they are
Mm-mm.
from. And sometimes you have to go and read clues to go and find your present.
Mm.
So it's good fun.
うんうん。
そういうことです. And we did that every year.
あれ
And he would knock on your door in the daytime
うん
and throw in like what they called paper note, which was little kind of ginger biscuits.
うん。
Throw them in
へえ。
and you'd know then,
来たみたいな。
来た。そう
うん。
そうそう。
アルファベットのチョコレートは
So that's also on St.
これだよ
Nicholas
ね。
Day.
そう
Yeah.
だよね。自分のね、first name の、例えば、ヒロミだったら H っていうのチョコレートがあるんですよ。
Yeah.
アルファベットのチョコレートが。
Yeah.
ね。
Yeah. So I was so happy that my name was Matthew with an M because M is big in chocolate, right?
あ、愛が。
I
愛が
was so. My brother's name is Jason.
うん。あ、J これ。
His J was not quite as big as
M。
M.
そう。それをもらうんだよね。
もらうよ
食べるんだよね。
そう。美味しいよ。
なんかそれって、ね、楽しいよね。
うん。
あんまりそのアルファベット。
But it's something I wouldn't necessarily bring into the schools.
うん、そうね。
You know?
うん。
I'm not sure you need to learn about... If you want to learn about countries' traditions, go to those countries.
Right. でも
Let
そ
them
の、
teach you.
でも、だからここにあるようにさ、Matthew D. Wild はこういうふうにセレブレートしたよっていうようなあり方だったら OK よね。
いいと思う。
そうそう。
はい。It's a good book, isn't it?
そうそう。結構。
特に日本のものない。
あるある。日本はね、ひな祭りなの。
ひな祭りか。
クリスマスも結構、いろんなね、お祝いの仕方が、そのクリスマス、日本のも見せるとね、とか言うのよ。ちょっと違うとかね。
本当になんで Shall I read it?
うん。
ひな祭り Every year, 7-year-old Sayo from Osaka.
うん。
お、かおり先生知ってます？
知らない。
知らない？Sayoちゃん。From Osaka in Japan looks forward to 3rd of March when Hina Matsuri takes place, a day dedicated entirely to dolls. Nearly every Japanese girl, nearly every Japanese girl owns a special set of beautiful dolls which has either been bought for her or has been in her family for many years.
うんうん
The dolls are considered too precious to play with.
うん
Instead, they are displayed in the best room in the house, which is usually the tatami room.
うん
The dolls represent traditional Japanese values such as calmness,
うん
dignity,
うんうん
and are intended to set an example that young girls can follow.
うんうん。で、ほら、こう、すごいさ、こんな、ひなドールをさ、パワーアップしてこうやって流すとかさ、そういうのやったりしないじゃないだから、これを見たときに、あ、みんなが全員がこれやってるわけじゃないっていうメッセージが送れると、
じゃあ、他のページ
この子
もそうかな。
はそうだけど、
Right.
自分ちは違うよっていうことが、他のページを見たときにいい
わか
のじゃん。
ること。そうだよね。
同じ日本人だけど、
Right.
ここまでしてないよとか、
Right.
これはしないよとか、あ、これはしてるとか、ここは似てる、ここは違うとかあるじゃん。っ
Right.
ていうことを知っておくと、他のそのハロウィンであったり、クリスマスのセレブレーションとか、セントニコラスとか見ても、きっとそのスロベキアでこうやってるって言うけど、これと一緒で、じゃあスロベキアじゃみんなっていうわけではないだろうなっていうことを伝えられる。
そうだよね。
だからやっぱ誰がっていう視点を子供に教えてあげた方が、ステレオタイプになりにくいっていうのが。
そうだよね。
うん。
I don't know. Okay.
そうそうそうそうそう。もうね、写真古いよね。これ新しいの欲しいな。
あるある。絶対ある。
ね。
Because I've checked into it. Children just like me, they have...
あとね、あっちだよ。そこに。シルバーのやつ。
シルバーのやつ。
そこ。シルバーの方。
This one?
それも Children Just Like Me で。
そう。
そうそう、このシリーズも。もうこれすごい古いよね。これも。
They do up this regularly.
もう今ね、新しいの出てると思う。
And you can even get it online, I would imagine.
これすごい小学校でよく使ったんだよね。
はい、
これね、子供たちのいろんな国の子供たちがどこに住んでて何歳で好きなものとか好きな教科とか、いろんなこと言ってんですよ。で、これをね、よく6年生とかに、サマリーを読んであげて、リスニングをして、で、この、My name is Esther とかって読んであげて、じゃあ、Esther is Esther a boy or girl とか、
So, before you show the photo.
そう。私はこうやって読んでね。
Right.
で、リスニングで子供たちは、ワークシートに、名前、カタカナでエスターとか、12歳とか、エチオピアとか書いて、好きなものをなんかヤギとかってこうやって書くじゃない、?goats とかね。そう。でそれは男の子だと思う、女の子だと思うみたいなことをやったりするのよ。
And they go, goats, that's probably a boy.
そうとかね。そう。
And then just say, well, let's meet Esther.
そう。Hi, nice to meet you みたいな。そう。っていうふうにやるじゃない、
yeah.
そうするとね、これ確かに第一やったかな。
From Japan.
Yeah, そしたらね、日本って言わなかったの。第一って、日本でも、第一って女かもみたいな。すごい変なことになって、
right.
なんか忘れちゃったけどさ。
いいね。
そう。そのまま読むじゃなくて、
really
これもね、絶対持ってた方がいいですね。あ、ゆり先生も同じも。これいいですよね。Children Just Like Me はすごく、ステレオタイプなく伝えられるいい本だから、持ってない方は持っといた方がいいです。絶対おすすめ。
Alright, listen, I think we've done Halloween for a year, for this year. Let's look forward to next year, shall we?
すごいね、目の上もさ。
I did that.
うん。
I did this too.
夢に出てきそうだよね。でも初めて見たこの、いつもギリギリの、ちゃんとこう。
Yeah. Not one student from the high school, the junior high school that I passed today on my bicycle, said anything.
なんか言ってほしいよね。
Yeah, I was happy they didn't. でも、あれ
なんか言わないのみたいな。
I wonder why.
Hi, Matthew とかないの
I don't know all the kids. I know some, but not all.
Maybe they didn't know what to say.
Probably.
They want to say something, but they don't know why and how. なんか。
All right. Good night, everybody.
ちょっと今日は早めに。
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see
うん
you
うん。
next week, I would imagine.
そうね、もう次あれじゃない、11月だね。
Yes.
次、そうね、11月ですね。
はい。
また、じゃあ、ちょっと今日はね、またちょっとこれから打ち合わせがあったりするんで、このぐらいで終わりにしますけど、でもぜひ、なんかちょっとイベントのことをね、ちょっと先生も見とくといいですよね。
Good night.
ということで、今日はこれで終わりにしたいと思います。
Oh, can I just ask you who you are? I'm Ariel. Ariel. 今 on purpose だね。
ノンターゲットじゃん。
Ariel.
You don't look like Ariel っていうのを言いたかったんじゃない？ノンターゲットでやっぱり。ノンターゲットで。でもなんかアリエルっぽく、T シャツ下に着てるからかな。
Oh, yeah. Laugh out loud. Thanks. Good night. All right. Good night, everybody.
おやすみなさい。
Thank you.
ありがとうございます。
ここ？
はい。